Hello. So it's me again, Aniruddha, and we're back doing GRE vocabulary. I'm trying to get this to be a daily habit, but I sort of fail generally. But yeah, I think I was away for 2 days, but now we're back, and let's get into it. So if you're just joining in, what we're essentially doing is we're going through this book called 1100 Words You Need to Know. Uh, it's by Barrons, the famous publishing house, and I'm just solving it in front of you guys, mainly so that I solve it. But if you think listening to me and my explanations and my voice is helpful to you, and you're sort of learning vocabulary along the way as well, nothing like it, right? So, to recap, we have sort of done week one. We did all the 4 days. We do two days in a video. So I did two videos, and we're done with the 2 days. To recap, I've sort of made a list of the words we've done. So yeah, this was day one. Voracious, indiscriminate, eminent, steep, replete, to eat humble pie, which is an idiom, which basically means to admit your error. Then we did like abound, technology, prognosticate, automate, automaton, matron, a pig in a poke. Day three was all about the words paradox, realm, annals, compound, tinge, and a flash in the pan. And day four was about a few words that are badger, implore, drudgery, interminable, perceive, and to pour oil in troubled water. Yeah. So today is mainly about sort of, reviewing the words we did and really understand, really like making sure they stick in our brain. And this is all we're going to do for this video. And I think for the next video, we're going to dive into week 2, day 1, right? But that's not for today. So yeah, let's get to it. So yeah, we've accomplished something worthwhile. We've learned 20 useful words and 4 idioms. We will become aware of the words that require graded study for complete success in these first lessons, right? So it's basically a test. And let's take the following quiz by matching the best possible definition with the word you've studied. So let's just match words, I guess, then. So abound. What does abound mean then? So it doesn't mean this. It doesn't mean this. This basically means to prognosticate. So let's see if we can find prognosticate. Right. So that's B. To be able to tell what will happen in the future. Right. To be completely soaked in something is basically steeped. Yeah. So this is A. So we've covered this. We've covered this. Someone's special field is basically their realm. It's a realm, or yeah. So realm is C. So yeah, this is C. Okay, to continuously lag is to basically pester or bother. I can't see that word. Yeah, badger. Badger as well is a synonym for that. So yeah, 4 is D. Carelessly chosen is basically indiscriminate, right? You don't choose it with a lot of thought. You choose it indiscriminately without giving it any thought, right? But I'm not 100% sure about this one, but I think it should be this. Okay, related to science or engineering is basically technology. Let's see where that word is. Yeah, technology, and technology is an F, right? Okay, to add to, it's basically, it's a word that I'm not sure of, so I'm just going down. Drudgery, eminent, implore, paradox, perceive, realm, replete, tinge, voracious. So I'm not sure about this one, to add to. So I think I'm going to leave it for now. To beg for assistance is to basically implore. So H and implore is here. So this is H. Of outstanding reputation is basically eminent. You're a preeminent or an eminent author in the field. If you're eminent, you're basically you have an outstanding reputation, right? So that's an I. To add to might be compound, right? So I think this is a G. Yes, I think we got that one as well, but we might want to check this one. Okay, of outstanding reputation. All right. Oh, I think we did this one, right? Eminent. Okay. Now, a mature woman is basically a matron. Those are the words we studied. Yeah, I went to them briefly as well at the start of the session as well, so that should have given you context. So mature woman is a matron. Let me search for that. Okay, that's here. It's a J. Okay, a small amount of, basically a tinge, right? A tinge is a small amount of something. That's a K. Yeah, pretty boring stuff. Dull, difficult. So we're doing drudgery right now, which is dull, difficult work, right? So that's an L. The M is basically desiring huge amount. And I don't know what that is. I think voracious is a good word for desiring huge amount. Like if you're a voracious eater, you have like huge appetite, sort of something like that, right? So don't quote me on that. Existing in great numbers is basically replete or abound. So it could be either one. So I'm gonna leave that for now, right? Historical record is basically anals. So this is O, and O is here, right? Oh, I can't even put a circle around the O. Yeah, that was hard. To come to have an understanding of. So that's basically to perceive something. When you perceive something, you come to have an understanding of that particular thing. Q is to be completely filled with. So let's see what we're left with. Left with paradox, replete, tinge. So I think replete is the correct thing to be completely filled with. It's a correct usage of the word. So it's replete with lots of books or something, right? So yeah, I think replete is correct with the Q. So out of curiosity, I'm going to break tradition. I'm just going to see what the sentence was for replete, right? Realm, we didn't have replete here. We didn't have replete here. Okay, it was on the first day, which is why I sort of forgotten about it. But yeah, the football game was replete with excitement and great plays, right? So this makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So it was filled with, completely filled with. All right, going back. So yeah, that's done. Replete is a Q. To exist in great numbers to basically be abound, right? So that's an N. Okay, a machine that behaves like a person is, you guessed it, automaton. That's an R. Seemingly self-contradictory situation. That's a paradox. I mean, it's just you're walking right into it. And interminable means never ending, right? It's a T. So yeah, I guess we're done. And I mean, we can check the answers. It'd be a huge waste of time. So let's just remember the order, shall we? N-O-R-D. Let's check the first four. N-O-R-D-G. Let's check the first five. All right. So yeah. All right. So N-O-R-D-G. Right? I think next time I'll try and put the answers up somewhere. All right. So L-I-H-E-T. L-I-H-E-T. Let's check that out. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're correct, but I mean, just for like, you know, L-I-H-E and T, right? So I hope I wasn't scrolling too fast, and the screen should have been visible at least briefly. Like even if it was choppy or something, you should have been able to see it. L-I-H-E-T. If you can't, apologies for that. Okay, JSPB, right? Let's check that. So JSPB. We're good at this. CQAFKM. CQAFKM. Let's check that. CQAF something. Okay, FKM. Yeah, so we're correct. So we've basically done all the matching things correctly. Now let's match the idioms, right? So okay, to eat humble pie is to basically admit you're wrong or to admit defeat. A pig in a poke is basically a bad purchase. So yeah, a flash in the pan is a start today or flop tomorrow. You start off very promisingly and you like people think you're gonna do great things, but then you're a flop later on. And to pour oil in troubled waters is basically to make peace when two people are fighting, right? Generally, it's often the case the person who tries to pour oil on troubled waters is blasted for doing that very same thing. All right. So yeah, now let's look at some sentences, right? The huge football player. So let's see which word we can fill in to make sense of the sentence. The huge football player had a replete appetite or a voracious appetite? A voracious appetite, right? After seemingly interminable or indiscriminate wait, the surgeon came to give us the news. So interminable is the correct word here because the wait seemed never ending. Without a dash of evidence, the coroner could not solve the murder. So without a tinge of evidence, without the slightest bit, the smattering, there was no trace of evidence. Very tinge, like without tinge of evidence, the coroner could not solve the murder. So the coroner needed some evidence to solve the murder, and there wasn't even a tinge of any evidence to be found or to be seen anywhere, right? In the dash of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So in the realm of the blind, so in the kingdom of the blind, or the place where everyone's blind, the one-eyed man is the king because at least the guy can see with one eye. Do you see what I mean? All right. Okay. So let's check this first of all, right? Voracious interminable tinge realm. So voracious interminable tinge realm. Right? Alright, let's get back. Alright. We invited the dash engineer to address our club. So you invited the eminent engineer. You don't invite any random engineer to address the club. You invite the eminent or the best engineer. In the Catskill Mountains, the wood dash with deer. So the woods are abound with deer, right? I cannot dash why people voted for the corrupt senator. So the person cannot understand or cannot perceive, right? Not predict. It's not like the person is predicting whether the people voted for the corrupt senator or not. The person is unable to understand why that case happened, right? So why that is the case. Night and day, my kid brother dashes me for money. So badgers, right? Night and day, my brother will badger me for money. He'll keep on incessantly and interminably touching me and irritating me and be like, give me money, right? All right. Science fiction movies usually feature automatons. They usually feature robots. With his experience in Dash, my uncle is able to earn a good salary. Technology, not experience in drudgery. Nobody has experience in dull, sad, irritating, good for nothing work. People have experience in technology, which gives them good money, right? So, I'd like to remind you, drudgery had the definition of L, which is dull, difficult work, right? All right. So we did that, and we're almost towards the end of this video. So let's just go and fill out this word. This is like a word search, and we need to see the new words we learned this week for each blank in the following story. And I'll read out the story, and we'll sort of go through it, right? So okay, the first word is going to come from the third day. In the dash of crime, there are few scoundrels who couldn't match the exploits of Reggie Hayes, who also used the name Reginald Haven, Ricardo Hermosa, Father Harris, and a dozen of other aliases. So in the annals of crime, right? So day 3, they said. So this is day 1, day 2, and this is day 3. And yeah, annals definitely fits the bill, right? So, okay. Right. So in the history books of crime, there's no one who could match the exploits of this Reggie Hayes character. Why? Reggie's police record, principally in Chicago and Baltimore, is dashed with scams that he perpetrated upon gullible people. So this guy, this legendary thief, his record, which is mainly in the Baltimore and Chicago area, is basically replete. It's completely filled with crimes, yeah, that he perpetrated, that he brought upon to other people. So does that make sense? To other gullible people. Generally, his favorite target was a dash who should have known better. So number 3 comes from the second day, and the second day is matron. Yeah, that's the only word that makes sense. So his favorite target was a matron, or an older married woman, who should have known better, right? Dressed as a priest, Father Harris, he was most convincing, however. His method of operation was to find a wallet stuffed with $100 bills outside a supermarket and then dash an unsuspecting woman to share his good fortune. So the fourth word is from the fourth day, and let's check what was there in the fourth day. Yeah, so I think implore is correct here, right? So he would find a $100, like he would find a wallet stuffed with a $100 bill, and implore. Oh no, and then badger. So let's see. Yeah, I think badger is again correct. Yeah, and badger and unsuspecting woman share his good fortune since there's no identification, right? So I think badger is correct, not implore. But I might be completely wrong here, and this is actually a place where I actually stop and check. So let me do that. Let me check this. So anals, replete, matron, we got that right. And okay, so implore is correct here, not badger. All right. So yeah, so he would find a wallet stuffed with $100 bills outside a market, and he would implore, he would beg an unsuspecting woman to share his good fortune since there was no identification in the wallet. But first, to establish her credibility, his victim had to pull up a sum of money as a testimonial to her good faith. So there was this woman, Emma Schultz, who told the police she had withdrawn $14,000 from her bank and placed in a shopping bag supplied by the helpful priest. He told her to hold on to the bag while he went next door to a lawyer's office to make sharing of their good fortune legal. After a seemingly interminable, so basically a never-ending wait, I think is the word, but let's check what day it's from. It's from the fourth day. So implore was correct, my instincts were right, but I betrayed myself. And yeah, after a seemingly interminable or never-ending wait, Mrs. Schultz discovered to her jargon, or basically jargon is a word that means sadness or to a great dismay, right? So we can do define. Let's search the web. Yeah, annoyance or distress or having feel humiliated, right? Dismay sort of. Or okay, so I mean the synonyms are annoyance, irritation, vexation. Vexation is another word for being annoyed or angry. So yeah, to a great jargon. Sorry, going back. Oh no, I was right. Okay. Yeah, sorry for that, just screen changing things. Yeah, jargon that the heartless thief had skipped out the back way, leaving her holding a switched bag containing shredded newspaper while he made his getaway with her life savings. So yeah, essentially this thief was sort of like a douchebag. He used to target older married women, find a wallet out of thin air, which was actually his own wallet, and say that I found $100 and I want to share it with you, but if I'm going to share it with you, you need to withdraw some money as well to show your good faith that we're going to share together. Obviously the wallet had no ID, and yeah, and then this guy basically got this woman, this particular example of Emma, who had withdrawn $14,000 from a bank and placed it into a bag, right? And then the priest supposedly said that he was going to go to the court or to the lawyer to, make it legal. And in reality, he just switched the bag on the old lady and took her money while leaving her with shredded newspaper. Right? So she actually thought she was holding the money, and it was actually just shredded newspaper that's of no value. So yeah, that's just a bad thing to do, man. So yeah, anyways, that brings us to the end of today's video. It was a bit longer one, but yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I mean, I try to do this to keep on top of GRE vocabulary. I'm sure like 5 words a day isn't going to really change the world, but I think great things are built with small habits. So yeah, nice. Hope you enjoyed that. Bye bye.